This is 567 Cape Talk, your number one news and talk station.
Hi, I'm Bianca Reznikov and we're at the Design Indaba, where over 2,000 Cape Townians and people from all around the world, both young designers and leaders in the field, have flocked to the Cape Town Convention Centre to listen to a program of international inventors and creators talk about design. We're going to speak one-on-one with some of those inventors, so come on, let's go do it. John Bielenberg is an award-winning designer and a social activist. He believes that thinking wrong can help to change the world. John, how do we begin to even start thinking wrong?
Yeah, so it's really hard. So if I tried to talk wrong, it would be almost impossible to do. Put words together in a ridiculous sequence, right? So to do it, we have techniques and exercises to make people sort of break out of their orthodoxies and conventions. Just simple little things. For me, I have this bracelet I wear that says "Live Wrong." That's just a reminder that to kind of look at things in new ways and think differently. So, I mean, you have to just tweak your mind to get into that space.
You talk about forcing yourself to get out there. What do you mean by this?
Sometimes, if we're in this is a good conversation to have. This is my first time in Africa, first time in Cape Town. So everything is new. I have no preconceived, synaptic connections. So I'm making them right now. So I can't really rely, none of this is familiar. So it's a lot easier to kind of get out of your normal ways of doing things and thinking if you're put in a place or a situation that is unfamiliar and unusual. That's sort of the principle around Get Out.
Tell us a bit more about your project Common, which works from the ground up, and your project Future, which works from the top down, and how the two meet and work together.
Both of those operate in this area of positive change, enterprise, two circles where they overlap. Because we think that business and consumer activity and enterprise can be a driver of positive change. It's one of the most powerful forces. We can't avoid it, we can't ignore it. So why don't you use that, right? Why don't you embed capitalism with core values? So that's common to both areas. In that kind of section, we think that inspiring young social entrepreneurs and giving them the platform to launch companies is one of the ways, this sort of bottom-up approach, and that's common. Future is really acknowledging that we also need to engage with larger organizations that can really scale things in a much bigger way, and that's nonprofits. Gates Foundation is an example of that. Large organizations, we're working with MIT on a waste picker project, and large corporations as well, but all on projects specifically focused on driving positive change in some way. So the Future is operating there as much more as a consultant, using design and brand strategy and idea generating workshops and stuff. So that's the difference.
If design is a social commentary on the world, what is it saying right now, and what will the future bring?
I started out as a graphic designer, and I like that. I like cool design things, design products. I've really shifted to think of design as like the big D, right? It's about human ingenuity and invention, making things happen. It's a process that isn't just thinking, but it makes stuff at the other end, whether it's architecture, industrial design, graphic design, whatever. So I just think sometimes design gets sort of pigeonholed as this one thing, it's like just the look of something or the skin or the marketing of something, and I just think of it as sort of really everything. right? So all of the stuff around us has been invented and designed, right? Humans, you know, unless we're out in the middle of nowhere. And that what that means is new things. It doesn't have to, this doesn't have to be the way a couch looks or is manufactured. So that means new things can be designed. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's, I just think of design as sort of almost everything, right? And one of the key tools to use in this process of positive change.
This is 567 Cape Talk, your number one news and talk station.